What we have is our list of experiences that we're looking at the screen from all different organisations across Australia. Now, I'm going to have a look at someone else who's having the same problems as me, that they're talking about meetings. So let's have a look at this particular person, Super G. They've tried to make things better, not having any luck. Okay, so I can read their story. I can read all of the things, how they felt. And yes, it is great that people are putting their experiences up on BetterWays. Hopefully there'll be more of us soon. Yes, there is. The first thing I can do is just say, look, Super G, I feel you. Okay, so there's a bit of love. There's a bit of empathy. And look, I'm really interested in seeing how things pan out for Super G and this particular experience of theirs. So I'm going to follow that as well. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Now, because I can see this section here on the factors that contribute to Super G's really negative experience, that means that they're in my organization. So these are my actual organization's policies in here, which have been added by users, by members from different areas. And those are available for us to talk about. Now, obviously, they're going to have the same, we can flag the same thing here as we did in our own experience when we added it just a moment ago. And this is a good place to put a little brief explanation. Culture. I want to really flag the fact that we continually try and push for things to be right, but at the end of the day, we pull back at the last minute because we're afraid of the consequences. So I'm just going to record that here. Again, if the culture was that we could push for what's right, if there weren't consequences, then we could deal with things like meetings as and when they arise. But that's obviously not the case here. So I'm going to save that. So again, this is someone else's. This is Super G's experience here that we're talking about. But we, as other colleagues of Super G, we're saying, well, what do we think were the causes for that? Look, I'm going to flag that this is an issue. This dysfunctional meetings is an issue for Ben. So let me put something in here. So we've identified a person that needs to be involved in helping to make the problem go away or help to solve it. And we've identified the lack of necessary policy. And we can again go back down here and look at what others have flagged. So the light shaded areas are things that people have suggested that shouting and bullying and aggression is allowed in meetings. I haven't seen that, but I have seen that the meetings are an unreasonable ask and demand on our time, and there is bad behaviour tolerated. Usually people dominating the conversation and not letting others have a say. Communication is inadequate. We very rarely have a great agenda and come out having achieved what we thought. And yes, our frustration is being ignored. And what I've seen in some of the meetings is being reprimanded in meetings. So we're getting reprimanded in public, which is not a good thing to do. Yeah, over-focusing on technique is a big issue within meetings, and I think that's part of the micromanaging side of things. And we've added our voice to the call for things to be made good. So we've flagged the policies, and if 20 people come along and have a look at Super G's story and say that sucks, it should never happen again, they get to also pick out which policies are problematic or which aspects of our culture are problematic or which particular projects are problematic, etc. And these all add up to the counts. And when we look at them in the dashboard, we will see exactly how those numbers stack up to be a really good call for change.